Good afternoon. My name's Tim Crouch. I live here in Greenville, South Carolina. And today I'm going to show you how to put a track on a Carlton 7015 track machine. I've been running these track machines for quite a few years, and I thought maybe it'd help everybody out if I made a video on how I put them back on. It's a pretty simple procedure. Should take me about 20 minutes at the most to put a track that's come off the front on. It's pretty simple, straightforward. There's three tools you're going to need. You're going to need a 3/4 inch open end wrench. You're going to need a 1/2 inch wrench and a tire tool. This tire tool was bought at our local tire hydraulic store, and it's a round, about 3/4 inch round, and it's got a flat tip on the front. This is a really good tool in order to use to put this track back on. And the other, last but not least, paper towels, because you will get a little messy. So let's get started on the track. As you can see, my track is off on the front. Most of the time, 90% of the time, the tracks come off, they'll come off on the front. They don't come off on the sprocket side. And when they do come off on the front, they usually come to the outside. So we'll get a little close up there of that track so you can see that it is off. Okay, as you can see, the track is off the front sprocket guide and it's come off to the outside. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my 1/2 inch wrench and I'm going to loosen the cover plate. I'll loosen the front closest to the... Once I do that, I will slide the cutter head side bolt forward and I'll snug that down so it stays there and it's out of my way. I will reinstall this bolt, the rear bolt, about 3/4 away. That way we don't lose it. A lot of times you'll be out in the field, you'll lose it down into the dirt, never to be found again. This is where the paper towel comes in handy. I will stick the paper towel in the hole and lay it down there. Okay, so here we are down at the track. I've installed my paper towel, and as you look in here, you're going to see a grease fitting. This is a Zerk fitting. This is what we use to shoot. We put the grease gun to that, and we'll use that to expand the track's height. This is something that you should do every so often inside throughout normal maintenance. Behind this grease fitting right here, you will see a 3/4 inch, what looks like a nut. That 3/4 inch is actually a barrel. You'll take your 3/4 inch wrench, you will put it on that nut and you will loosen it. Turn it 1 revolution and then you'll start to see grease come out of a hole in the front. Now we're going to put the track back on. So here we are after we opened the grease barrel and have now opened it up so that the front sprocket can come back, which will allow us to put our track on. This is where I start the machine up. Now I don't run this machine any more than idle. There's no need to do it that way. I mean, any more than that. What I'm doing up front is bringing the cutter head down, and I'll bring it down. Right now the ground is pretty soft. Most of the time you won't need to. So I'll bring that down. Also, I have a block of wood under the back on the gate. I drop it down. Now I go ahead and go down with my cutter head, which now raises the machine up. Now, this is where I take my bar and I stick it in to the front right here. And I use it then I drive the wheel forward. Now, with the wheel forward, I'll bring the cutter head down. And I'll shove that track. And there it is, bam, it's on. That's all you need at that point. Now, while the track is up, I get my grease gun. I will close the nut that I just had open. So I'm going to go ahead and close it. Snug it down. You don't have to do it too tight, just snug it down. And now, with the weight off of the track, I start shooting grease to it. As you'll notice, the track starts to move forward and out. See how the track is tightening up? And that's why I leave the cutter head. This machine doesn't have a locking valve in that boom, so when you lower it, it'll start to creep back up. So having this running in the remote right next to you, you can work this and get the weight off of it. Now you'll notice it's going to get pretty hard and I like my tracks nice and snug, and that's pretty snug. Okay, so now we're done greasing the fitting, and the track is tight. At this point, I'll lift the cutter wheel up, I'll lift the back up, and I'll shut the machine off. The track's back on, it's tight, and we're ready to put the cover back on. The back cover, take the back bolt out, install the cover bolt, snug them all down, and there you have it. This video is shot in real time. You got to see just kind of how I do it. From a lot of experience owning this machine as long as I have, it's become pretty routine as far as how to put the track back on should it come off. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, you shouldn't be scared to attempt to put it back on. So there you go, the track's back on and we're ready to go. Thank you again for watching the video and joining. My name is Tim Crouch with Stump Blaster here in Greenville, South Carolina.